Welcome in, Libra, to Don Williams Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and watching this video. This message is for Sun, Moon, and Rising placements in the sign of Libra. If you have those placements, this message may be for you. Keep in mind that this is a general reading, not a one-on-one reading. Therefore, not all messages may resonate. So keep what does and leave what doesn't. Okay? I am doing this reading for you on July the 16th. This is actually a timeless message, but it is meant to take you from mid-July to the end of the month. If we do have a lot of major arcanas, I would say more than half of your 9 cards, then that would mean that it would be carrying over to the next month. So might be carrying over to August, but I'll let you know once we pull all your cards. Okay. If you're brand new to my channel, you may want to consider subscribing. I do live readings now. I schedule those. If you are a subscriber and you click that little notification bell or whatever it is on my website, it will notify you as to when I am going to go live. Now, typically what I do is I will set up that live a day in advance. So you might get notified as to when. And if you just click the notifications button on that message, when I go live, it will notify you that I've gone live. Okay. We would love for you to join our community anyway. Okay. So today's readings is for the rest of July. This is for Libra. I have meditated on your cards. I have asked for the highest and best information that will help us navigate the waters through the end of the month for you. And as I do this portion of your reading, I'm going to take myself off the camera. We can concentrate on your cards. At the very end, I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Happy-ish deck. This is an oracle deck, and it is for people going through hard stuff, which is pretty much everybody at this point, right? So that will conclude your reading for today. Okay, so thanks for being here. If you wouldn't mind, please reach up right now and click that like button while you're thinking about it. It really does help me. It doesn't cost you anything. It really helps content creators when you do that for them. So thank you so much for that. Okay, so here we go. First card is the 7 of Cups, spoiled for choices. 7 of Swords, 9 of Swords. So the interesting thing about the 9 of Swords is a lot of other groups have gotten this card as well. That is a card of anxiety, not being able to sleep. There is a Tower moment coming in for you here, Libra. And then we have the 5 of Swords, the Justice. So this Justice card represents your energy, Libra. That is you coming in very strongly. And then we have the Fool, the Strength, and the High Priestess. So as I was saying, this is probably going to take you further than just the end of the month. I have the Tower card, the Fool card, the Strength card, the High Priestess, and the Justice. So 5 of your cards are major arcana, and this is all towards the end of the month. So this is really pushing you into August timeframe easily. Now, what I am going to say, though, is the major arcanas do take us longer to work through. Typically, when I do a reading for someone and we get a lot of the major arcanas, I tell them that it's going to take them a year, 6 months to a year to work through some of those energies. So it isn't like a one and done. These are the heavy hitters in tarot. These are the strongest cards in the deck. So they're really asking you to pay attention to those energies. Okay. The very center of your reading is this 5 of Swords. This is your greatest challenge, but this is also the energy that you are working with through this reading until you complete some of these energies that you are working with. And this card right here is that card of winning at all costs. For me, I can equate this to the current situation in the United States where, the Democrats want to win and the Republicans want to win, and everybody's stacking the deck to the best of their ability, and they will win at all cost, right? That is that level of energy where there's sabotage, there is nefarious, there is that potential is there. That energy of potential is there. What are you willing to do to win? What are you willing to do to be the victor, right? And this is in the very center of your reading. Now, as you can see, these two people have been defeated. He has won the battle. He's happy about winning the battle. We always are when we get the upper hand most of the time. And what he's doing is he's going along behind these guys and he's picking up their swords because he doesn't want to fight them again. So this is really one of those cards of changes coming in. This energy is something that you will be facing. You might be feeling this energy. You may be feeling this energy towards you, meaning maybe you are competing for a job. Maybe you are competing for a role in a play. I don't know what it could be. It could be any number of things. And it feels as though it's kind of cutthroat, right? Because those swords are sharp. They're meant to be sharp. They're meant to be weapons in this case. So it feels as though this is how we express with our mind. We express with our words. So it could be some conflict coming up for you with some words being exchanged, something along those lines. Okay, so just be aware that energy is there. You can decide how you want to handle it in the moment. This right here is your immediate past. This is what's happening with you right in the moment. This is what's coming towards you that you don't see. As I stated, the Seven of Cups right here is my card of feeling confused. There is confusion with this card. He does have a lot of options. He's got 7 cups. Which one am I going to choose? But as you can see, he's blacked out. And what he's looking at, he's looking through all the fog. So it's not clear exactly what is in the cup. So it's kind of like one of those games, that you've watched as on TV when you were a kid. Like, do you want to pick door number 1? Do you want to pick door number 2? Or do you want to pick door number 3? And this is all choices. These are choices that need to be made. And at the same time, these choices are not going to be very clear to you at this time. It feels as though some of them can be lucky and some of them can be unlucky. So, until that fog kind of drifts away, I feel as though you are really looking at being spoiled for choice in some area of your life. Now, your next card has to do with this Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is a card of strategy. As you can see, he has gone into the enemy camp and he's stealing all their swords, right? He's stealing their swords. He's stacking the deck in his favor, basically, because as you can see, there's fighting going on back here, and he's snuck into the back and he's taking all of their swords away. And even though he's being kind of sneaky, he's being stealthy, he's also being very creative, right? He's thinking ahead, and the swords have to do with the way that we think. So he is being strategic. He's trying to be quiet. He doesn't want to get recognized. He doesn't want to take a wrong footing. He doesn't want anybody to know that he's there. And of course, this is a stealthy kind of a card. But again, you do have the yellow, so it is a beneficial card for you, meaning that it is a card of you might have to start thinking about strategies for whatever it is that this is referring to for you. Sevens are about gaining experience or utilizing existing experience. And sevens are also about building confidence. The Fool is also about building confidence. So there is a level of energy here, Libra, where they're really telling you that you want to step into your mastery. You want to step into your inner strength, right? Because that energy is here as well. Now, your final card in this column is this Nine of Swords. This is my sleepless nights. This is nightmares coming at you. It could be just a holdover from the weekend. I know a lot of people felt very emotional about that whole experience, especially as more and more information came out. Was it an assassination attempt? Who was behind it? All of this stuff, right? What does that do for us moving forward? Well, in the United States, it is causing sleepless nights. It is causing people a lot of anxiety. People are having a really hard time right now because there is so much division. There is, we have such a divided country. And the thing is in all honesty, um, we don't really have to live that way, right? This is all a choice. This is all a choice. People are making these choices. So for you, there is a comfort here, a comforter, a blanket that can comfort you. But typically, when I see this card, I tell people if you find that when you lay down at night and your mind is doing the monkey brain, get a pad of paper, get a pen or pencil, write down those thoughts. If you put them and commit it to a piece of paper, you're allowing them to release from your mind so you can sleep. It really works. I've done this many, many times in my life. So I'm just sharing with you something that's worked for me. In our immediate information here, we do have a tower moment. A tower moment is a big, huge disruption. It is meant to be a message to you for those of you that may have not been paying attention to what your higher self or your soul has been trying to guide you in a direction. And sometimes what happens when you don't pay attention to those little nudges, those things that you know that you should be doing that you're not doing, something will come in and force you to do it, right? And that's kind of what this energy is. We just went through a tower moment as a United States of America with this attempted assassination against former President Trump. And that is kind of that energy. Everything falls to the ground, everything is raised to the ground. And it feels as though the rug is being pulled out from underneath you. Now, I am not saying that because of President Trump's situation that it has to affect you, Libra, in this way. I'm using it as an example. It can represent anything for you. It could represent maybe you're going to lose a job. Maybe you have lost, you've been asked to move out of your house. Maybe you're a renter and they want to sell or they want to do something. They want to renovate. They want to raise your rent. It could be any of those types of things. It could be related to a job. It could be related to a breakup of relationship. I don't see any other relationship cards here. So it might not have to do with that, but I am seeing that. So I feel as though maybe a few of you are going through rocky situations in your current relationship, which is why this message is coming in. Now, the thing about the Tower card is once everything has been pretty much flattened to the ground, now is your time to rebuild. This gives you a time to rebuild and reevaluate, reassess, realign, all of those words that we use, especially when we use all those words when we are working with, Mercury in retrograde, right? That's kind of that energy. Now, I do know that Mercury in retrograde is coming at the beginning of August, sorry, the beginning of August, like I think August 4th, we go into full blown retrograde. We are in that shadow period right now. So it could be the reason why this energy is pulling up for you right today. And we have already talked about this Five of Swords being that card of winning at all costs. And then we have the Justice card. The Justice card does represent you. It does represent balance in or needing balance within your life. The Justice card is also my card of truth and being on the right path. As you can see, he does have a sword in his hand here. It is straight up in the air, and this is supposed to represent truth. This is supposed to represent the real truth. This is kind of a law and order kind of a card. So this will be one of those cards where some of you may be associating with law in some way. Maybe you are going to, I don't know, buy a house and you want to, you need to sign on the dotted line. Depending on where you live, sometimes you do have to go in front of the county clerk or whoever it is that needs to sign off on all of your documentation. And then this can also represent anything else that's dealing with the law. So my caution is, well, if you're a female and you go out at night, make sure that you go to places that are well lit, that you're very well aware of your circumstances around you, so that you don't have any type of a violent situation happen. The other thing is, if you gas up your car, gas up during the day or in the morning if you can, so you're not out at night trying to gas up, where you're paying attention to what you're doing. And a lot of things happen at gas stations. So I'm just kind of saying that as an awareness. And then as we progress, all of these cards are major arcana. You're going to be working through these energy for a bit. It could be for the next 3 to 6 months, actually, to be honest with you. The Fool is my card of a new beginning, a new journey. And it's also my card of a new belief. It could be that maybe you have had lifelong thoughts and opinions about things. Maybe you've had a lifelong thoughts and opinions about, maybe you're a Democrat and you've had lifelong opinions about the Republican Party, and now you're seeing the Republican Party in a new light. That is kind of the energy I'm talking about in terms of a new belief. The other thing that this is also talking about is that the sun is shining down on the Fool. He is just allowing his higher self to give him the guidance he needs to go. He is allowing himself to be guided by his higher self. The sun is shining on him. The sun is all about nurturing, growth, and healing. He has his trusty dog here, which is about loyalty, but it's also about your basic instincts, right? He is just taking what he has with him, and he's trusting that what he needs will be fulfilled for him. This guy is truly just mastering himself. He's mastering his path forward. This is definitely a card of building additional confidence. And again, this is a new chapter. So many of you may be starting new projects. You may be starting a new job. You may have moved to a new city or a new state. Starting over is another concept for this card. The other card that comes in, which I love this card as well, is the Strength card. The Strength card is definitely a Virgo card. Actually, it's a Leo card, sorry, because Leo the lion. And she does have this infinity sign above her head. For me, the infinity is kind of that infinite love that you have for our creator. And if you can keep that energy within your crown chakra, I feel as though you will always be connected to the God of your heart. She is about her own willpower, her own inner strength. She's been through thick and thin, and I feel as though all of us have gone through our own, gamut of situations where we have had to find that inner strength and operate from that space. Now, as you can see, she's also quite gentle. She has befriended this lion here. This lion is allowing her to put her hands in its mouth. It is not going to attack her. He trusts her. He has submitted. He has got his tail between his legs, and he trusts that whatever she's going to do to him, he's going to be okay. And it's kind of that same energy, that energy of other people recognizing your strength, recognizing that you can be also a gentle soul. You might not be one that's always throwing everything into people's faces all the time, right, Libra? Being an air sign. But at the same time, I feel as though people are looking at you in a strength position. Your last card, which I also feel really resonates well with you, is this High Priestess card. The High Priestess is my energy of intuition. She is very much aligned to her higher self. She brings in her own information. She is associated with the moon phases. So it feels as though uh, this coming full moon is going to be important for you in some way, Libra. So pay attention around the full moon. The other thing about the high priestess is that there's mystery involved around her. That mystery is going to be different for all of you. So whatever it potentially is, it isn't going to come to light in this reading, although there is some stuff that's going to be coming in that's going to ask you to go within and to look at things from your higher perspective. Bring that information in, use your intuition, use your heart, and use your gut for solving whatever this is for you coming in. Okay, so now, I mean, the only thing that is concerning, of course, is that tower card. And I feel as though some of you may already know what that tower represents. As you can see, people are jumping out of the tower or falling out of the tower. There is a crown here up at the top that is on fire. So, you know, it could represent a lot of different things for you. And the thing about the tower, you know, people get freaked out about the tower. The tower could just be, you know, like I said before, that you have this aha moment where something comes in and you go, you know, I've thought about this way my whole life, and now I'm realizing that what I have believed in my whole life is not completely accurate, right? So it'd be something as simple as that. Or it could be a thing where you're moving or things are being unsettled for you in some way. But that is your biggest obstacle I see coming in, if you want to call it an obstacle. For me, I feel like it's allowing you to start over. And it could be anything that's in this cups over here, right? You can't really see what's in the cups. Whatever is in this cups could cause this tower, and it could cause you to start again, start a new journey. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to pull 3 cards for you from this deck. And before I read them, I'm going to pull myself back on camera. I did get a new desk mat. I really like it. It really causes the cards to pop. So you should be able to see these much better now than you did with the lavendery-ish one. Okay, here we go. Oh, I do need my specs because I can't really. Still have to be careful. That nose is still broke. It's not really completely healed yet. Life is not a buffet. We have choices, sure, but not always. We don't actually get to choose what breaks us down or destroys the life we have or the life we wanted. What we get to choose and what you get to choose is what you take from this kind of loss and what we choose to create from the rubble. You guys, I'll tell you, sometimes spirit just blows me away. That defines this tower moment to a T. Right there. You don't get to choose. You only get to fix it once everything's broken down, right? Then you get to put things all back together again. It's kind of like Humpty Dumpty. So what can I do? It's natural to wonder what you're supposed to do in the face of someone's suffering, to jump into fix it mode only, to realize you have no idea what you're doing. Not everything needs to be fixed. And even if it does need fixing, are you 100% sure you're the person with the right tools to do it? I'm not trying to minimize your tool collection, but before you go swinging a hammer, check to make sure you're looking at the nail. This is that savior mentality, and we all have it. We see somebody struggle, so we want to go help because we feel, oh, if we help them, we're being very kind and generous. At the same time, their struggle is real, but they're the ones that need to figure out the struggle. They're the one that created it, right? So, yeah, that's actually a good message. Have some perspective. What do people mean when they say this? Because it feels a little bit like they mean, quote, have a different perspective, unquote. And yes, a shift of the camera lens can be helpful, but no matter where you are, you do have perspective. It's different from how you see it in a week, a day, or a year, but being right where you are, right in the middle of it, that is perspective. And this is actually a great card for the ending of this reading because it's all in perspective. The tower moment is perspective. The nine of swords with all the anxiety and oh my gosh, and the world is falling and Chicken Little, right? It's all in perspective. I love this for you. Thank you so much for being here, Libra. I appreciate all of you. I am going to, in this moment, send you a lot of love, light, and healing from my heart to yours, should you choose to accept it. Until next time, take very good care of you and enjoy the rest of your July. Cheers.